Let me welcome you the MTN way also, which we usually do with yellow. So, thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much, Telecom Review and Media, for having us in this fantastic hybrid event, which is always super well received. I think it's a great combination after, I think we've been already in working from home for the last 7 or 8 months, and it's good finally to get out of your home. We can't even work from office yet. We hope to do that end of November. But I'm sure most of you already went to the office once in a while in a very safe way. So let me take you through of an update on what we are doing across the African continent, although we also have quite a few operations in the Middle East, where we do struggle a little bit here and there due to, of course, what's happening in the economies, for instance, in Yemen and Syria and various other places where we operate here. We are based in Dubai as MTN GlobalConnect. One of the great reasons for that is not only because we've got a lot of Middle Eastern operations, but also because it's a great hub. It's a great environment in order to travel to all our operations, to Africa, having, of course, a good contact with our suppliers, our customers, which are in Europe, in Asia, and in the United States of America. Now, having said so, I think it's the government here also does a fantastic job in making sure that we are well, that we are safe, that we are well entouraged with all the precautionary measures, and of course we love to be here with you all. Now, if we, let me see how we are. Okay, cool. Let me quickly give you a quick picture of where we are standing from an African landscape. Now, Sub-Saharan Africa, this is where we operate in around 17 markets, has more than 1 billion people in that continent. What is interesting is that 50% will be under 25 years by 2050. So it's an extremely young population, it's an extremely dynamic population, and it's a fast-growing population also, which makes it quite interesting. Now, Africa has around 54 different countries, and they have, of course, regimes which are not easy to work with in certain cases, but also we've got places where sometimes they call it even the Switzerland of Africa. So where we've got Silicon Valleys popping up, where we've got a lot of developers popping up, where we've got a lot of new innovation coming out of the ground, which is quite encouraging. Now, what is also quite fantastic is that they're going to launch normally the largest free trade area, which will become effective normally next year. So they kind of create, like the European Union did, a free trade environment in Africa, which is fantastic, which will lower by 90% all taxes towards free trade between African countries. What we see also is something which is also fabulous, is that we see the regulatory bodies who are struggling here and there in African countries, but they still try to arrange a coordination aspect where we see, for instance, the CEMAC or the ECOWAS region becoming kind of like Rome like home enablements, which we see also, for instance, in Europe. So Africa has quite a few things which is doing right, I think, and will be doing right in the near future. Now, the continent is actually creating an entirely new development path, and it's certainly harvesting the potential of its resources and its people. 19 of the top 20 fastest growing countries are in Africa. Now, the African internet economy, however, is expected to be resilient despite COVID-19. Let me show you a little video.
How far can you go? When your village is connected to the global village, you go. When 30 million people have a bank in their pocket, they go. When 560 million of us can plug into a high-speed digital highway, we go. When you can use technology to teach where books can't reach, we all go. When over 5 million people have a job to do, and 4 million small businesses can make it big, they go. When you're driven by the unstoppable spirit of Africa, you go. They say if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. We're good together. Everywhere you go, MTN.
Our belief is that everybody deserves the right of a modern-connected life. And our vision is to lead the delivery of a bold, new digital life in an ethical and in a green way, which is really something we're very proud of. Now, let me tell you a little bit of the expansion of MTN as a digital operator across our markets. We are an evolving telco, where we still focus on the voice, the data, the enterprise, and the wholesale business. The digital player is something where we focus totally on the digital media, messaging, mobile advertising. And the fintech player is that we transfer payments. We're probably one of the largest money transfer parties in Africa, with loans, deposit, insurance, marketplace, and of course, remittances. So we've got one network, one distribution, one registration. Now, it touches really the daily life of a lot of its users. Now, if we see a few figures here also where we were compared to last year, we did a 24.6% growth in our digital revenue, which is IOBA, which is our OTT, and music time. We've got 16 markets where we are now available through our IOBA platform, where we do have, since last year, a pop-up of suddenly 2 million active users. They do daily live data and access to 90 COVID channels for free as we speak. Momo, we integrated that also with IOBA, so not only we're going to have the messaging aspect, which is for free, and also for a data-connected device without a data-connected device, so it can automatically, for free, go over SMS if you want to do a data messaging. But also, we do an integration of music time, which is quite fabulous, and we launched that also in 7 markets, and we continue the growth. Fintech revenue is probably also one of the largest growing aspects, and it grew 3.6 million to 38 million active users. So we increased the activity with 61.5 billion transactions, which is quite fabulous also. And we did 11,752 transactions per minute. Gives you a bit of an idea on how much money, how much transactions, how much e-commerce is being done now in Africa. We've got about 8.6 registered insurance takers where we sold policies towards with a 0-rated reduced transaction fee in order to support the COVID-19 aspect. Now, if we go into a bit more high-level figures, these are the first 6 months figures we have for this year. Last year, when I was here, we were around 250 million subscribers. It's quite fabulous what the team did in order to grow to 273 million. We also grow with 20 million active data users. So you see that the 3G, 4G networks are being rolled out at a very aggressive pace by our fellow colleagues in Africa. We're still not yet at 5G, although we have it in a few markets already to test. Now, what is also quite important is the Momo users, or the mobile money users, which grew with 11 million more in 1 year. Now, that gives us, I mean, these are figures of last year, 142 billion ZAR, which is around $10 billion US dollars, okay? Now, where we are very, very proud of, and this is also which we had in this super difficult year. I mean, it started already after the first quarter. We had a fantastic quarter, and then suddenly COVID-19 really landed here in the Middle East and in Africa. This is also where we saw a tremendous amount of cable cuts, submarine cable cuts here in the region, but also around the African continent, however, which wasn't great news to start with, but where we really focused up, and this is really where MTN really does, I think, an outstanding job, is to make sure that we really care for people. MTN is growing and is caring about the youth, the old, the learning, the working, the healthy, and those who need hope, especially when we come together due to COVID-19. MTN cares, and we believe we are stronger together. Now, Ayoba is our OTT platform, a la WeChat, I must say, which is growing also quite fabulously. When we take Ayoba and Music Time, we grew around 42.6% compared to last year. We're active in around 16 markets also, so it's really quite interesting to continue that growth. Let me check where we are. There we are, sorry about that. So, what we do in terms of MTN Cares is actually, we did a lot for free also for our subscribers and our customers. We did around 28 million free person-to-person transactions, which is quite interesting. And we did more than 6,100 terabytes of free data via our Ayoba app, which is our OTT. Also through the government and our partners, we did around 3.2 billion messages in order to inform people about what we are doing and what COVID has as an impact in there. Our information platforms were really running day and night. We did also quite a few things for the schools and the university. About 108 terabytes of free zero-rated traffic for them. All the educational and school websites were zero-rated. Also, from a governmental perspective, we relieved and we get a lot of funds with approximately 44 million, which we donated. Also, a lot of the executives forfeited their part of their salaries or their salary increases in order to put into that fund, and we collected quite a few things from an MTN perspective. So health, also very interesting. We gave a lot of equipment, masks to everyone, and the value of that was really well accepted. Now, when you look at this, I care, and this is what we did also during a campaign. And when you WhatsApp me, you will see that picture also on my profile. And it's a campaign we run, which is called Wear It For Me. We did a lot of television spots also, and encourage everybody to wear and do their part in order to educate people in order to wear their mask. Now, my role in MTN Group is to focus on the wholesale, and most of you here in the room are our partners, so it's good to see you all here. And what we did with the GlobalConnect team is actually quite astonishing also. In the 3.5 years, we've been actually sitting here up in Dubai in order to coordinate for our operations, the entry door and a one-stop shopping. So we're investing quite a lot in the continent and in the Middle East, but we grow in order to sustain also the future growth, which we see also. We booted up 4 fantastic platforms also, a platform as a service setup for operations for third parties, for enterprise, and also for you as a partner, where we do all the roaming, all the and also all the messaging across the board. Now, we are very bold with our plans. As we were mentioning at the beginning, 50% in 30 years of sub-Saharan Africans will be under 25 years. Now, in order to cater for such an explosion of demographics, an explosion of take-up and data, we are investing heavily in infrastructure. So what we do is actually, we've built today around 14 times. When you go from Cape Town to Cairo, the equivalent of that 14 times, so it's around 100,000 kilometers of fiber already in Africa. We will continue that journey. And day in, day out, through MTN GlobalConnect, we're building thousands of kilometers of fiber in order not only to strengthen the infrastructure, but also to make sure it has more resiliency, it has more uptake, and it will be able to cater for the current and future growth. We also have a tremendous amount of easy connectivity, and we are working on an open access model, which is quite interesting in these markets. One of the veins of Africa is we've got a lot of submarine cables going around Africa. 4 of them are very big. Now we're going to build together with our partners 2 more submarine cables, east and west, which is called To Africa. And MTN is one of the largest participants into that equation. Now, Africa's future is bright. We have capitalized on our African footprint and continue, of course, to invest in Africa. The mobile technology sector is a major contribution in the economic growth and in the economic value of that. So the mobile devices are the most common means of internet access. We also deployed a lot of cheaper, if I may so, handsets in order to really make sure that all of the population would have access, and they are sometimes below $15 per piece. In 2020, MTN has grown 273 million subscribers. Our Yellow Connect, or platform, sometimes have processed over 2 billion SMSs as we speak. We get access to hundreds of networks across the world, and it's well catered in order to be the largest platforms in Africa in order to have a simple interface with all our partners in the world. So, we are good together, and I invite you to grow together. Thank you.